This is an Average Robots production.
After 7 long years, the war is finally over. The Eclipse, a group of zealous pirates and guerrilla warriors, waged a conflict that eventually spread so wide all of Greece had become involved. Despite the massive and skilled fighting forces of Sparta and Athens, with backup from Corinth, Thebes, and more, the Eclipse waged a devastating campaign, collapsing trade routes, sinking naval fleets, and scorching farmland in the name of their mysterious god. Despite infighting, the overwhelming force of the combined Greek armies eventually stamped out almost the entirety of the Eclipse and claimed victory for the people of Greece. However, the Greek armies faced difficulties in defeating the Eclipse as they used new tactics and strategies not seen in traditional warfare, and many fingers were pointed between the city-states as who was responsible for the lack of success despite the victory in the battle. Thus, tensions in between the city-states are at an all-time high. Now as soldiers return home, communities pray to the many gods of Olympus to try and rebuild in the wake of the loss of life, the lack of solid trade between city-states, and the new wave of crime that took hold during the years of disruption. You are either returning home from war, passing through, or are a permanent resident of the small fishing village of Hali in the region of Attica. The pirates of the Eclipse raided fishing boats and the village is just now getting back on track. However, the recovery process might not be so smooth, as mysterious disappearances and other suspicious happenings begin to take place around the village. Will our cast of new heroes become champions of the gods and man, or will the brutal realities and menacing monsters of this recovering world, both mythical and mortal, be too much for our adventurers to handle? Welcome to the epic.
Okay, everybody, welcome to a world thousands of years in the past. A world not too dissimilar of our own, where gods and mythical beasts freely roam the landscape. Magic, divine intervention, all regular occurrences. A world where our heroes will see if they can save it. Welcome to the epic. This is campaign 3 of Idiots Rolling Dice. For those of you who have missed the tailored intros of it, it's a campaign set in ancient Greece and the most mythologized version of it. Some creative liberties will be taken to include stories and things based off time period that I want to include, but basically, gist of the matter is the world is just leaving a 7-year war between the United Armies of Greece and this rogue guerrilla force fighting on behalf of some unknown god. And now that the United Forces of Greece are victorious, everybody's returning home. People are trying to adapt and then uncover secrets of things that are still going on post-war. Just a heads up for everybody, I mimicked the idiot. I'm dungeon mastering this campaign. I had my wisdom teeth out on Tuesday, so my mouth is still a little fucked up. So if I lose accents or have to cut things short, it's because I'm in pain. But I am joined, as always, by some wonderful people who are playing new people today. Starting first with Miss Daisy Cakes.
Hi everybody, I'm Daisy. Happy to be here. Hopefully Mimic won't be in too much pain so that we can get through some stuff. But last campaign was amazing. I can't believe we're on our 3rd one already. And I just can't wait.
Next up, Mr. Jimmy SHR14.
Yo, what's up everybody? Good to be back with y'all again for another campaign. Let's see what ancient Greece does to us. I know last campaign was fun, so this will be something different and something fun. So let's get it on.
Next up, Mr. Play the Fool.
Hello, I am Play the Fool. Looking forward to what Mimic can throw at us this time. Last campaign was a hell of a blast, and I'm looking forward to another blast this time.
Last, certainly not least, Mr. Vex.
I'm ready to get wild and freaky. Let's go.
Oh my. All right, let's do it.
Just don't call him daddy this time, all right?
Young and wild and free. So all of you are in various states of recovery after this great war that's just happened. many soldiers have already returned home. The last boats of soldiers, typically, you know, the strongest kind of frontline leaders, stayed back and are now on the last boats home. And the world is recovering, you know. The villages, commerce in the cities still went on. Mysteries outside the city. And we will begin in the small fishing village of Holly. Holly is a village about 2 days' ride from Athens. It's in the region of Attica, or however the fuck they say it. It's just a modest fishing village. Soldiers from there are part of the United Athenian armies. It's, you know, tucked on a coastline with kind of a wooded hills outside of it, and it's got a marina, residential area, all standard things that the fishing village would have. However, we begin just outside the village on a boat full of soldiers returning home from the Great War. This is worn, but spirits are high. After 7 years of fighting, many people away for the entire time, troops returning home at last are filled with, you know, their spirits are held high, thanking Poseidon for the safe journey. And on the bow of the ship, looking out to sea, Vex, would you introduce your character?
This is Jax. Jax Karn. Boy is a very roughed up, very grizzled war vet at this point since the war has ended. I can call him a war vet. Isn't really the most friendliest of people, but he kind of tries to look out for the little guy here and there, so who knows what will happen.
So you are looking out over the sea at the oncoming shoreline. Holly, your home village. You know, you didn't return the entirety of the war. And approaching you as you ponder is your close friend, Brigadier General Artisan Misa. Well, he's only a couple years older than you. He's like a well-respected, high-ranking officer in the military who took you under his wing when the information that you were too young to actually be in the war got leaked, and he gave you the chance to lead and flourish and taught you many skills, both for the battlegrounds as well as the whole life. He's about 6 foot tall with like bronze skin and dark hair. He walks up to you with holding his spear. He says, Jax, my friend, it's been a while, hasn't it? He pats you on the shoulder. He's like a very pleasant, calming individual. He says, it's been, 3 years since I've been home. I haven't seen my son since his birth. Wow, what a world to come home to. What about you?
Don't really got anything to go back to, sir. Just kind of left without thinking.
Well, I can assure you that the whole of Greece is thankful that you did. You took that risk, joined the war. Obviously, your leadership helped save many lives, and ended the lives of a lot of those Eclipse bastards, eh? Huh?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Any plans now that you're back?
I mean, haven't really lived my life, really, so I guess it's time to get on with that.
Yes.
All I've kind of known is war.
Well, Jax, already, you're a great man. And please, you have nobody to come home to. The best thing you could have is a home-cooked meal. Join me and my wife for dinner tonight. She'll be making a feast for us now that we're home. I would love to have you there.
Honestly, this sounds like a plan.
You and he continue pleasant conversation as you approach the docks. Elsewhere, on the lower deck of the boat, a group that stands out from most of the soldiers sits playing a game of dice. Among them is a short green goblin named Smacky, who's this skeevy little rogue type. 2 large orcs, Boris and Loris, and a tall, slender creature with a head of a beast of the underworld. And this creature leans against the wall, sitting on the bench playing this game of dice. Jimmy, would you introduce your character to us?
My character is Jade Dragonborn. Oh, my backstory. I didn't write my backstory down. I am an idiot. I am sorry. Help me out, Mimic, please.
You were a ranger and a rogue who was like a spy in the war. Yeah, so you joined the war because they promised for like creatures who aren't humans, they promised like rights of citizenship to those who served on the side of the United Greeks, and because of your like stealth and your ability to blend in with Eclipse soldiers, because many of the soldiers of the Eclipse were non-human creatures, you were able to sneak into back lines and steal, spy and stuff.
Like, yeah, stealing intel, and also some recognizances as well.
Yeah, what does your character look like?
I am what was it? I was 7 foot, 250-pound dragon, huge rogue.
Yep. So you guys are all playing this dice game. Just chatting amongst yourselves as you're approaching back this village, and a like grizzled quartermaster type person heads over to your group. He says, "All right, reclaimers. Through your service to the Athenian military, you've earned yourself the right to purchase land and have full rights in Attica. We would like to all," he like reads off a paper, "you would like all you know that you were a great help, and the war would not have been won without your valuable assistance." He reads it. You can kind of tell he's reading it sarcastically. He says, "Carry these medallions with you as a mark of your well-earned citizenship." Then he like flicks you all silver medallions, with like in like an envelope with your name on them. He like passes out these medallions and like papers like, "Hey, this means I have the rights of a person." Make a perception check, Jade. First roll of the new campaign.
Yay, I feel honored. Thank you.
Yay.
So I got a 6.
6. So you're just kind of looking around, looking at the medallion. It's like a very well crafted piece of silver. It has like, in Greek it says the Reclaimers, which is like the name of your like branch of service. Creatures reclaiming their right to citizenship, theoretically. And Smacky, the little goblin creature, he like speaks quietly to you as the other people look away. He's like, "Look at all the soldiers out there. They still, after fucking years of fighting, don't respect us. You know, you think after all this time they wouldn't look at us like they still hate us. We did just as much, if not more, than most of them during the war, and they still treat us like monsters. I don't know, Jade. Do you think any of them will actually go for these citizenship medallions, or was this all just a waste of fucking time?"
Well, to tell you the truth, you never know. But time will tell.
So you guys continue to play your dice game and chat about whether or not this is actually worth it. As bells ring, as the ship kind of pulls into the marina, many people are gathered around the docks to welcome you home. Jax, you see Artisan go off with this beautiful woman holding a young child. Jax, you also see Jade Dragonborn walking alone off the ship as he stands towering above the rest of the soldiers. You guys are one of the last boats returning home, so many soldiers who like I have already served with are already home, greeting people, welcoming people back. And actually Jax, a soldier who served under you, named Matthias, he runs up to you and says, "Leader Karn," as you were a battalion leader, he says, "It is good to see you well. Since you're back, I was wondering if you could look into something for me."
Sure, Matthias, what is it?
He says, "Some of the soldiers who returned to Hali have been victims of attacks. We've seen like muggings and vandalisms and even kidnappings take place. We don't have much in the way of leads, but there are rumors of a demon mage living in some caves outside the city. He might have been a supporter of the Eclipse that's now seeking vengeance."
All right. First, let's get some rest. All right.
Of course. Just something to look into, sir. He like bowed.
I will. Don't worry.
He
You
like
know me.
bows his head and walks away. Jade, as you're kind of walking off in the crowd of people, many of whom are still giving you nasty looks, Artisan Misa actually comes up to you. He's a colonel. He nods to you. He says, "Well, young Dragonborn, welcome home." He's holding his son in his arms, and he's like, he's being very friendly and cordial with you. He says, "Any plans now that you're a citizen?" To Jade, he says that.
Well, now that the war is over, settle down. Maybe. I have no idea. I haven't thought that far yet.
I understand. For a lot of us, it was just about getting home, right?
That was the biggest thing. Just get home first. Go from there.
Yeah. Well, if anybody refuses to accept that medallion, you point them in my direction. I'll make sure they see the error of their ways. Welcome home again. Good to see you. I hope you find some peace.
I'm happy to be home. Thank you.
And Artisan then carrying his son, like bouncing, extraordinarily happy to see him, it looks like, walks over to you, Jax. Says, "It's weird to be back."
Yeah, it is. I mean, I expected to see my father maybe, but ever since Mom passed, he's been a bit weird.
Well, it's been a tough time for a lot of people, Jax. I hope you find the ability in your heart to come to terms with whatever you need to. It's not necessarily forgiveness, not vengeance, just what you need to do. But please get changed, clean up, drop your stuff where you need to drop it off, and then come over to my house. And he gives you directions to his house. It's a small village, so you kind of know where it is, but he still gives you the directions anyway. In about an hour, 45 minutes, and we will have a great dinner.
I'll see you there. And he kind of starts like playing with the kid, not like playing, but like kind of like
just like
playing,
reaching your finger out, letting the kid grab it and stuff. The kid's like 3, so it's not like a baby.
But Jax has no idea how to interact with kids.
He says, Artisan turns to his kid and he says, "It's all right, young boy. This is a great man right here. He'll take care of us, all right? I'll see you soon, Jax." And he walks off to his wife and into the crowds. Jade and Jax both head to their respective homes, and we actually go outside of the village. In the surrounding woods is a young woman, well in tune to nature, who has just spent a day trading herbs and pelts to the people of Holly. Daisy, would you introduce your character for us?
Hi, everyone. I'm Talia. I don't know a lot about my past. I've kind of been out here for a long time. My dad left to fight, and while he was gone, my mother lost her mind and left me. So I had to start figuring out how to do things on my own. And don't really like people that much. Much prefer the animals and out here in, the woods. And, I was doing okay for a while, but I realized I couldn't stay by myself, or I thought that. So I spent a little bit of time out with some interesting people. Needless to say, I'm not part of that anymore, and now it's just me again.
So you have kind of been wandering village to village. You hunt in the woods. You trade pelts. You gather medicinal herbs and stuff. Trade them to villagers for drachma, which is gold, or just things you need to survive, like supplies and stuff. And you're just now, after a day of trading, picking herbs and looking for a place to set up camp in the night. The sun is starting to go down a little bit, set over the western coast, which is where the city is. The city's on like the west coast of this little peninsula thing. So the sun's starting to go down. Intalia, make a perception check as you hear a scuffling in the bushes to your right.
18.
18, you said?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you just kind of cut out for a little bit to start.
Okay.
So you hear this scuffle over to your right. Quick, draw your bow and creep over to a small clearing in the woods, and through it, you can see a like hooded figure. But like the current angle of the sun, it kind of like glares in your eyes a little bit, so you can't tell much more about it. But it's moving very smoothly across the ground, heading towards the village.
Do I want to shoot at that? I don't know if I want to shoot at that. Maybe I could shoot at that.
I mean, you can make an insight check.
Yeah, all right. 20.
20. Realistically, you have no way of knowing for sure if this is a human that's just wearing a cloak, or if this is something else.
Well, that's promising. Alright, I guess I'm gonna keep my scimitar in my hand, but I'm gonna move up a little bit, see if I can't figure out what's going on.
As you take a couple steps forward, you hear an explosion come from nearby you. Your years of the experience in the woods draw your ears to the noise. As you turn back to where the figure was, it's gone.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm kind of looking around a little panicked because I'm not really sure what's gonna happen with that. Or what the hell that was.
The explosion was like deeper in the woods, and the figure was heading towards the city.
I kind of want to see what that. I want to see if I can find that hooded figure. But what if the explosion is something bad?
You're going to just have to make choices. We're not going to sit here and dance back and forth on the same subject. Whatever your gut tells you to do, I want you to do.
I'm gonna go check on the explosion because there could be something bad going on in the woods.
Okay, so you follow the sound of the explosion you heard. You think, suspiciously about whatever that figure was, and you head deeper into the woods, and you come to a kind of like rocky cliff face, and you see a cave, but the cave has like a cobbled together door with smoke coming out over the top.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna get it. Is there anybody around there? Can I see any? I guess I'll look and see if I can see any people.
There's no people elsewhere in the cave. It's just there's this cave with think like Shrek, in Shrek when they put the little door over the cave. It's like that. So it's not like fully covering the entranceway, and there's like smoke kind of creeping out of it.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can move the door.
As you go up to the door and reach for it, we find ourselves inside the cave, where another dragonborn creature waves some smoke out of their face with a new spell they were trying. Quite literally blew up in their face. Play. Would you introduce your character for us?
I am Demetrius Longwing, self-taught wizard. When the war started, his whole family decided that they were going to go out and fight and win their place in the admiration of all of Greece. Demetrius decided he was going to do his own thing and ran off into the woods and decided to teach himself magic when he found a book of Nemesis.
Okay. As you kind of wave the smoke out of your face, you can see like your workstation is mostly intact. Throughout the years that your family's been gone and you've been studying on your own, you've acquired several more magical books. The Book of Nemesis was like a history of like spells and punishments she cast on creatures who were arrogant against the gods. But you've discovered other things from like druidic circles and priests and all sorts of stuff as you've learned and researched and just taught yourself a whole bunch of new things. Not always without fail, as it just happened is this new fire magic book that you just found did not work out so well. But you're a diligent learner. You also know that you hear a knock kind of at your door, or you hear like a rustling at like your door of this little cave you live in, though.
Who's there?
Talia, you hear a voice call out to you from inside the cave.
Are you okay? I heard an explosion.
I'm doing all right. Just trying out some new spells, and they're not working out well for me.
So Demetrius, you know that since soldiers started returning home, some people have been like snooping around your cave, but have done really nothing to harm it. And I mean, you've done nothing to interfere with the villagers. You just keep your distance. So you're not really sure why people have been snooping around. But you know, today somebody has gone so far as to, interact with your cave. And you say, "I'm doing all right, just testing out some new spells." Talia, you hear that from inside. What are you doing?
Spells? Oh, okay. I've never seen this cave. Not really sure what's going on. Heard explosions. Guess you're okay. Do you need assistance?
No, I'm okay.
All right, well, you go ahead and you keep doing whatever it is you're doing. I'm just gonna go. But I kind of really want to know why somebody's doing explosive magic inside of the cave. This is just... You could have lit the forest on fire.
And at this point, Demetrius is just gonna cast Disguise Self on himself so that he doesn't resemble a giant dragon.
Okay.
And open the door to the cave and just be like, no, this is a safe place. There's nothing on the ground that can light fire to anything else. That's why I'm doing my magics here and not somewhere near the city. I have a habit of things going wrong.
So yeah, Talia, this normal human person opens the door on this cave for you. He's a tall human being, but normal human.
All right. Well, I'm just not really sure why I've never heard that before. How long have you been here?
Oh, a few years.
A few years.
Talia, you haven't been in this area very long. You kind of wander all over the countryside of Greece.
Oh, so this is like far away from where I've been previously.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, this seems like a very strange thing. But if I know one thing, it's that you can definitely start a few fires if you don't plan ahead with magic. So I guess I'll let you do your spell casting. Hopefully you don't blow yourself up.
Thank you. I hope I don't blow myself up too.
Well, yeah, okay. I kind of just turn around and start walking away because I'm super awkward like that.
All right, Jax and Jade, both of you are in town as the sun is setting. You've both kind of put your Jax, you head home, put your bag down. Your house is empty, but it seems lived in, so somebody's there, just not there right now. And Jade, you have like kind of a communal house on the outskirts of town that you have lived in with like other non-human creatures. It's kind of like a halfway house for reclaimers and stuff. Both of you are in town when you hear a shriek coming from inside the residential area of the town.
I'm probably still at my house, so and I hear that.
Yeah.
Gonna grab my warhammer and shield, not worry about the armor.
Okay. So you grab your stuff and head towards the shriek. Jade, what are you doing?
I hear the shriek and I grab my longbow and start running.
Okay. So both of you kind of converge. It's, like I said, a small village, so you can find out where it was, and there's been like a mass of people gathering. And you both see Artisan bloodied and passed out, leaning against a house. Jax, it's the house that you would know to be his. A guard is like tending to his wounds. He's breathing heavily, like keeping pressure on his wounds, and just like bloodied. His like bronze skin is cuts. His like dark brown hair is like frayed and sweaty.
I instantly run over and kneel down to him.
The guard who was tending him was like, Jax, a demon took his wife and child. It used some sort of magic to float in and out. There's a demon out in the caves, I know it. Must be an Eclipse sympathizer. He's been attacking soldiers and their families.
I don't even say anything. I just stare at him and like kind of like show me the way kind of look. Like where they were last seen going.
The guard like describes this cave in a little clearing near these woods. Jade, what are you doing? Is like Jax runs up to the wounded soldier.
Trying to make sure that the crowd doesn't gather too much around, and get too close into the scene.
You immediately, they all kind of back up and make an insight check as they all kind of like back up and respect your
All of that was teetering. 3.
Some of them are flashing you dirty looks. Like you can, it's a mixture of like people respecting you, trying to like control the scene, and people being afraid of you. And Jax, Artisan grabs your hand, and he just says, "Please, I'll give anything for my wife and child. Please bring them back to me."
I put a hand on his shoulder. It's like I will find them.
Yeah, he seems like he's gonna make it through it, but it's just been he doesn't, like, he was out of his armor. He was like Artisan is a master with like a spear and shield combo, and he like just had his sword in hand, so he clearly got ambushed. And the guard kind of pipes up to you and says, not that a ranking officer should need this motivation, but there is a 50 drachma bounty on the capture of the thing that's doing this. And he like,
I don't need a fucking bounty. I just want justice for my friend. No.
But he describes like the pathway to the woods for you. Yeah, Jade and Jax are both kind of sitting there as like Artisan's being tended to.
I kind of look back and I see Jade. I'm like, Dragonborn, come. And I have to start walking into the direction of the cave.
Yeah, I'll go with him.
Yeah, so you guys venture out into the woods. Make investigation checks as you...
I'm stopping by and grabbing my armor and putting it on real quick.
Okay, so you take 10 minutes to go put on your armor. Still nobody is at home, but like I said, it looks like it's not been abandoned. And then, yeah.
Perception checks.
Yeah, as you guys head into the wood, make investigation checks.
Investigation.
18.
22.
22. So you both have been around, like, just these kind of surprise ambush tactics over the last 7 years. So you can kind of see that this has, like, the makings of an eclipse ambush, right? You both notice that there is basically no footprints from whatever did this, but there are drag marks of what appears to be a body that lead you into the woods.
I'm gonna follow that.
Yeah, so you follow the drag marks. They, as you get deeper and deeper into the woods, both of you, with your weapons drawn, you notice the area to where the cave that you're supposed to be looking for this demon at is off to the left, and you can hear like a little bit of conversation and see some smoke rising from that area. But the drag marks continue straight.
I kind of glance at Jade and be like, "You're the one with not dirty tricks, but you're the one that is like, yeah, no, you are the one with dirty tricks."
I am the one with dirty tricks.
What would you say? Left or right?
50-50 chance. Let's see. Can I roll an investigation check again?
Yeah.
Like maybe general direction of where to start looking?
That'd be more of like an insight check.
$14.
I mean, on one hand, you hear like soldiers gathered intel and told you where you're supposed to be going is off to the left, and you hear and see evidence of activity off to the left. But on the other hand, like following the body would make a lot of sense, following the drag marks.
So that would be off to the left, right?
That would be continuing straight.
I think we should just keep going straight. Follow the drag marks from the body.
Jax doesn't even answer and just keeps going straight.
Jade and Talia, you guys are kind of chilling by the cave, concluding your conversation. Make some perception checks.
You mean
D20.
Demetrius, right?
Or Demetrius, yeah, Demetrius.
Did you hear me?
You got a 20, you said?
Yeah.
16.
16, you both see some creatures moving past the area of the cave. Just kind of like sun glints off the armor of one of them, and you see some creatures moving deeper into the woods past the cave.
Do you see those?
Are those soldiers? Where are they going?
Looks like they're going that way, and I point at the direction that they're heading. I don't know what's over there, though. I've never ventured that way.
All right. Well, I mean, why would they be running directly into the woods? That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, you guys could
like
pull
slowly
information
creeping over that way.
too. Because Talia, you know you saw a shadowy figure, and Demetrius, you know that soldiers have been snooping around this area. So
I'm used to soldiers poking their noses around here.
Yeah, but those
They've
guys
never-
are like, those guys look like they're looking for something.
Yes, they always look like they're looking for something, though.
Well, I don't know. I can't say I deal with them too often. Well, I wonder if this has anything to do with the creepy figure that I saw earlier. When I heard your explosion, I was in the process of trying to follow something in a cloak, but I turned away for a second and it was gone.
Was it heading in the same direction as the soldiers are going now?
No, it was heading into the village. I wonder if something happened.
So yeah, it's up to you
If
guys.
the
If you want.
soldiers would let us know if anything was going on.
Well, let's follow them. I'm gonna follow them and see if I can figure out what's going on, because if there's something to do with that cloaked creature, I want to know what it is.
Yes, I'm going to follow them too, so I can see what they've been snooping around my house for.
Okay. Both Talia and Demetrius make stealth checks.
And
Nat 20.
That's 20. Talia, you know the woods like the back of your hand. It doesn't matter that these aren't woods you're familiar with. You know how to navigate around here. Demetrius, you don't get out of your cave too much. As Jax and Jade are creeping through the forest, following these tracks, you hear a whole bunch of branches crack behind you. You turn around and you see that there's a cloaked, robed dragonborn standing behind you.
I'm gonna instantly get into a defensive stance.
Whoa,
Jack.
whoa. I'm like kind of holding my scimitar, like ready to swing at one of them.
This hardy, like, survivalist-looking woman jumps out of the bushes, holding a sword at you, saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Pops out.
Who the fuck are you?
Who you wants to die now?
No, what? We're trying to figure out what the hell you guys are doing, but what? Why are you going into the woods? What is that? I'm pointing at the drag marks.
Why are you following us into the woods?
I was wondering if it had anything to do with a cloaked creature that I saw heading for the village earlier.
Jax, go ahead and make a history check.
I'm proficient in history. Oh shit. 17.
17. So you know a couple things. The demon that they were describing, that the soldiers were describing, looks a lot like this robed dragon creature that you see in front of you. But you also know it's very weird that she would describe like a cloaked creature heading into the village. Just, recently seemingly just before Artisan and his family were attacked. So
Tell me more about this cloaked creature.
But
Wow.
but before you go, you do know that this dragonborn creature is the demon that the soldiers were talking about.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just like playing it off, kind of like trying to get more info on who they are and why they're even out here.
Well, I wish I could tell you more. I was following him, or it, and I heard an explosion coming from the forest, so I turned and went the other, looked at it, and by the time I turned my head back around again, he was gone. He looked like he was heading towards the village, but I can't say for sure. I only saw him for a second.
Okay.
And when I came in to check on the explosion, as I point up, he was in his cave working on things that were smoking and making explosions. So everything's fine, but it was a little weird that you guys came running past us. So thought maybe they'd be connected, and maybe I was right.
Jax is just gonna squint.
I kind of have
I
like a
don't
raised eyebrow.
I'm gonna make a perception check to see if she's telling the truth. Insight, sorry.
Insight, yeah.
Oof, that's bad. That is bad. Insight. 10.
Insight. I mean, from what you can tell, you're not sure. She's weird. She's a weird, like, survivalist, not somebody from the village that you'd know, hanging out around the same time all these people are disappearing. She's seemingly very cordial with somebody that the people of the village call a monster. But she also doesn't, like, seem to be misleading you, if that makes sense. It's just a whole lot of suspicious.
I'm gonna look at the other Dragonborn and just be like, what were you doing?
I was simply practicing magic and got a little bit out of hand.
And do you live in a cave?
Yes, I do. It was my home that I was practicing magic in.
I look at Jade and be like, these aren't the thing we were trying to find.
Oh.
And then I just turn and start walking and following the drag marks.
But I'm just kind of like gonna keep walking behind them. But so are you? Did you find? Is that what you're looking for? What are the
Jax.
drag marks?
Jax just keeps walking.
Hello, sir. Sir. Oh, I get it. Armor makes you too important to talk to anybody who's trying to help you.
So Jax is following the drag marks. Jade, presumably you follow Jax.
Yes, correct.
Talia, you're kind of chasing them down, trying to get their attention. Demetrius, what are you doing?
Demetrius is following Jax. Just being, what do you mean, thing?
Jax still doesn't answer, just keeps following.
He's rude.
He's on a mission.
He's on a mission. Yeah, so you guys, you follow the drag marks a little further into a small clearing where the drag marks seem to stop. The sun is not fully set, but the forest is very, very dark now. It's the drag marks didn't like leave or change direction or anything. They just stopped, and still no footprints of whatever seemed to be dragging anything. It's very strange. Everybody, go ahead and make perception checks.
And
14.
And how did I get -1 in perception?
14.
I don't know.
Because you have shit wisdom.
Thanks.
It's true. So yeah, Talia and Jade, you both notice like, hey, the sun's going down. This is not necessarily going to be a safe place to spend the night. And shadows are getting cast everywhere. Jax and Demetrius, both of you hear rustling through the bushes, and as the wind kind of blows, you almost hear like voices on the wind.
Can I tell what direction they're coming from? Or is it just like the wind howling?
It's all around you. As each one of you gets pulled, as each one of you is approaching this clearing, you have this like little cave behind you, a whole bunch of trees, advancing around. Tokens. You start to see hooded creatures kind of dart around in the woods a little bit, ducking in between the shadows behind trees. Just 1 second they're there, and then out of the corner of their eye, they're gone. Same thing. Talia, one darts across your vision, you turn to follow it, gone. Again and again and again, until surrounding you are 3 floating, cloaked figures in this clearing.
okay.
And everybody needs to roll initiative.
All right.
So popping out of the shadows are these floating, just cloaked, dark creatures, seemingly like not human, but possessing shape of humanoids.
I got a 13.
I got a 14.
14. And Talia, what'd you get again?
12.
12. But as you guys heard the stuff rustling, you all begin to ready yourselves. And Demetrius, you are up first.
Right. I'm just gonna cast Acid Splash at this shadow right in front of me.
Okay. Is that an attack roll or a...
That is...
It's a dex save. The shadow fails the save. Go ahead and roll your damage. You see as you... How do you cast your spell? What do you say? What do you do?
What do you mean? Like, what do I say to cast the spell?
Yeah, or like, what does it look like coming out of you? Put your own flavor on it.
Oh. He just kind of like conjures up a little ball of acid between his hands, kind of like holding a bowling ball, and just chest passes it like basketball out in front of him.
So you just huck this ball of green acid magic at the shadow. It does not appear to feel any pain as it does. It like part of the robe burns away, and you can see that there's like nothing underneath the robe as it goes. Cool. That's it for Demetrius.
My turn, right?
Brings us to Jax.
So, I see these figures pop out of fucking nowhere. And I instantly, as a bonus action... Is it a bonus action? Hey, it is. I'm going to cast Divine Favor on myself. I'm going to grab my little amulet and just pray to Ares, be like, this war has not been over. I must slay more. And then I...
Yeah,
Go ahead.
you feel divine power course through you.
And then I walk up and attack with my warhammer.
All right, you swing your warhammer on you or on the guy.
18, yep.
18. What does divine favor do?
It gives me until the spell ends, your weapon attacks deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage.
Okay, roll your damage and your radiant damage. 18 hits.
1d8. So 8 damage and then 2 radiant damage.
The hammer, as you swing it through, just like passes through its body. It like knocks it back a little bit, but then the 2 radiant damage, it seems to affect it fully.
Okay. That's my turn.
That's your turn. That brings us to Talia.
I was trying to see how close I was to some of these guys. Did hitting it with something helpful, or was a spell helpful? Because all right.
You would not have seen fully the effects of either of those things.
Okay. So I'm going to... I think I'm gonna just keep my distance and try and throw this. We'll try frostbite. See if that works.
Okay. Is that a save or a spell attack?
It is. Wait, cantrips same thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Target must make
it's
a Constitution saving throw.
yeah, Constitution saving throw.
And your DC should be.
15. Wait, where do I see that?
If you click on the star in your actions.
Okay.
Oh no. It's DC 10. Okay.
Okay. So where did you see that?
So
The
to find that, you
magnifying
did
glass.
just the magnifying glass.
Yeah, the magnifying glass.
It
Okay.
fails its save. Go ahead and roll your damage.
So D6. 5.
5. You see some of the magic seems to like impact sort of with whatever this body is, but a lot of it just seems to go through it.
Boy.
Any bonus actions or anything?
No, because I'm still far enough away. I'm not really interacting with them just yet. But I think I'm just gonna keep that as my turn.
Okay. This shadow, this first one that you just attacked, Talia, is going to creep up to you.
Oh God.
It's gonna swing with these like ghostly hands. I have not rolled above a 4. 4 is the highest I've rolled. And your AC is higher than 8, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, it's 15.
So this first one swings at you, but it's like still like kind of affected by whatever cold you just shot through it. The second one is gonna go after Jax here. Switch up dice. A 5. Cool. It swings wildly at Jax, clearly off-put by whatever radiant damage just happened in the third one. Okay. This is a deadly encounter, guys. This one swings at Demetrius, but cannot make contact. That brings us to Jade.
So, since number 2 is kind of distracted with Jax, can I sneak around to the back and try to sneak attack?
Yeah.
And so that would be my short sword. And 21.
Yeah, that hits. So go ahead and roll your regular sword damage plus an extra d6.
Eight total.
8 total. As you like bury your sword into it, it seems to like cut some of it, but does not make full purchase with the shadow creature. That brings us. Are there any bonus actions for you?
No, that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Demetrius, back up to you.
Okay. First, I'm going to back up a little bit from this guy that's
You take
right
an
in front of me.
opportunity attack as you back up. What's your AC?
12.
12? Fucking Christ. Okay. You're fine. It swings at you as you back up, but misses.
And then I'm going to cast Infestation on it. It's a DC 10 con save.
Let's go. What type of damage is infestation?
It is the cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites to appear momentarily on one creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw to take 1d6 poison damage.
Poison damage.
And moves 5 feet in a random direction.
You summon this swarm of bugs on him, and they all just like pass through his body, doing completely nothing.
Lovely.
Jax, that's you.
Can Gonna attack again with my Warhammer. As a bonus action, I'm gonna attack again.
Okay. So you'll make 2 attacks with your hammer.
Mm-hmm. First one's going to be a 15.
15 is going to hit.
Second attack is 18 plus 5, so
Also going to hit.
2d8 and then 2d4. 4. So 13 damage regular. And
Okay.
then the radiant damage. 5 radiant damage.
5 radiant damage. Okay, so you, Jax, you raise your hammer around it, like this red magic swirls as you feel the strength of Ares imbued within you. You swing your hammer down, and this creature dissipates. This first one does that you were attacking. As you swing at it, and it's.
I'm gonna move up to this one.
Okay, Talia, that's your turn.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna use. What am I gonna use? I'm gonna use my. Sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze. I'm gonna use my scimitar and take a swing at the guy that's directly in front of me.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
18.
18 hits.
All right. So 2 plus 2 is so 4 damage. 4 slashing damage on that one.
So you slash at it. It like seems to like cut some of the robes a little bit, but the shadow seems unaffected for the most part. And yeah, any bonus actions or anything?
I don't have attack again, do I?
Nope.
Okay, so then no.
Okay.
Guess I'm not really doing anything because I guess I could disengage, but it doesn't make any sense because I'm right next to him anyway.
Yeah, you can disengage this bonus action. Either. Okay, this shadow's gonna go after Talia. Oh my fucking god. It swings wildly, completely buried or thrown off by the effects of things. Second one's just gonna go at Jax. It's gonna miss too. Wow, this is nifty. The highest number I've rolled has been a 10. Jade, that's your turn, man.
I think I'm gonna move down closer to the one that Jax is going to attack. And actually, no, I'm just gonna stand here and shoot it.
Okay. Because
that'd
of
be
where
number
Jax
3.
is standing, it has a +2 to its AC right now.
Okay, so I'll move down there.
You'd have to go here, but yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
now it's
off the
cleared out.
cliff. Yeah, just let me shoot off the cliff. You know what I mean?
You could try it. Yeah. Now it's your view of it is clear.
16 hits.
Hits.
6 damage.
6 damage. And go ahead and roll your sneak attack too.
So 7 damage.
7 damage. So you have this ancient bow that was kind of passed down through your family through generations and generations. This beautiful mastercraft bow. You shoot right through the shadow's neck, and it seems to stick before falling out.
Wow.
Demetrius, it's your turn again.
Okay, so I'm going to go after Shadow 1 with Chill Touch.
Okay.
So, back roll. And I rolled a nat 1.
Yeah, so you try to go after this shadow creature, and it just passes through. It seems unaffected completely. Little different when you don't have +10 to hit. Jax, it's your turn.
remembering now that most physical attacks have little effect on these things, I'm going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
He's make a Dex saving throw of 12.
Passes.
Does not say it deals half damage, so you're good.
So you cast fire out of your warhammer, and it completely like morphs its body around it, so you miss. Talia, that brings us to you.
Right. So I'm gonna turn to the shadow one. I'm going to cast Entangle. So it's a strength save of 10.
And what is the effect of entangle?
So entangled, grasping leaves and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square, starting from point within range. For the duration, the plants turn the ground into difficult terrain. A creature in the area when you cast the spell must succeed a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends.
You cast like these plants grow out of the ground around him, and he's a fucking ghost. The plants don't affect him.
I didn't know if maybe with the cloak was worth a shot.
No, so you just make the area around him and 20 feet around him difficult terrain, which is interesting. And it's going to repay you. You're fucking kidding me.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god. Fucking Christ. It swings at you like a bit of vine just like sprouts out of the ground as it's going for you and kind of like knocks it off its path a little bit. Then another one's going to go for Jax. These things are scary. These things are really scary, but apparently they're more scared of you. As this one swings wildly at Jax too. The highest I've rolled on an attack is 8.
Thanks.
Yikes!
I've used 5 different dice.
Ouch.
Jade, that's your turn.
Gonna take another shot with the bow on number 3.
These things can full kill you in one fucking hit. Full kill some of you in one hit. I can't believe it.
10 misses.
So Jade, you go and shoot your bow at it, but it's as this thing lunges for Jax, and your arrow flies overhead. Demetrius, that's your turn again.
Okay. I am going to try to cause fear in one of these guys. I'll go for one. That's to do a DC 10 Wisdom save.
Okay, which so you're trying to cause fear in Shadow 1. You
Yes.
summon your little fucking phantasmal image. It's completely unaffected by it. Which brings us back to Jax. So, I mean, these things are horrifying ghost shadow creatures. They seem to not apply a lot of the same stuff that would affect like a human. Would not seem to affect these guys.
Just gonna attack with my warhammer.
Okay.
11, 16.
16 hits.
1d8, 1d4. Uh, 5 bludgeoning and 4 radiant.
Okay. It still stands.
Okay. That's my turn.
Talia, you got this one right in front of you.
Yeah. How often can I do these spells? The
So you can
cantrips.
do a cantrip every turn, and then you have like your first level spells,
that I can only
which would
use
be
once.
entangle. So you've used entangle already. That takes a spell slot away from you, so you can only cast one more first level spell, but you can cast as many cantrips as you'd like.
Okay, so the frostbite did something, so I'm gonna try that again, and see if that works. So, it was a DC 10
Yep,
con save.
fails its save.
Okay, so 1d6 damage. A 5.
5. Once again, some of the like little ice you conjure sticks to his cloak and like seems to do damage to it. Most of it seems to go through it. Okay, this one's gonna go back at you. Oh my god! Finally, fucking Christ! I hit once. So this one swings at Talia. Only does 6 damage to you.
Okay.
But that's a big chunk of your health. The second one is going to go.
Oh God.
Oh, also,
Jesus.
just FYI,
My hit points are so. What the fuck?
your strength reduces by 1, Talia, as it hits you. And the second one goes for Jax. Another 5. Okay, so Jax, this other one goes for you, but you put your shield up, deflect it out of the way, and your magic shield seems to completely make contact as we bring it back to Jade.
Shadow 3 getting shot. $16 hits.
As Jax knocks its like arms out of the way as it's swiping at him, it like blasts it into this vulnerable position. You bury an arrow right into its chest, and it like dissolves and goes to the ground. You also see like a silver coin drop from it as it falls. But that shadow goes away. Demetrius, let's see you again.
All right, so I'm gonna try Ice Knife. So I have to cast a ranged attack. Five.
5. You shoot this little knife out. The shadow like opens up a hole in its chest, and the knife just goes completely through and sails past it, doing this little explosion. Any bonus actions or anything?
No, that's gonna be it.
Okay. Jax, brings us back to you.
I'm gonna move there. Am I still in a range? I think I am.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm not. Let's go with Sacred Film again. See what that happens. Dex 12. Save.
Same thing. Opens up a little hole in its body, and new flame shoots right through.
Rip.
Talia, that brings us to you.
I don't think poison spray is gonna work. Let's see. What is this one? Yeah, that doesn't. All right. Well, I'm pretty close range, but I guess I could shoot at him.
If you shoot with your bow within 5 feet, you attack with disadvantage.
Right, because it's too close.
Yep.
You know what? I'm gonna cast Frostbite again.
Okay.
It seems to do something, and now the guy with the warhammer is next to me. So, 11.
As you cast Frostbite, it just sails completely through the shadow.
Great. So it doesn't work that time. That sucks.
Shadow goes back after Talia. It's gonna hit this time.
Oh God.
Oh wait, no, your AC's 15. Demetrius' AC is 12. No, it doesn't hit. I lied.
Huzzah!
Cool. Awesome. Sick.
Sorry.
Jade, it's your turn.
Okay. Is there a movement limit right now?
Yeah, you only have a speed of 30 feet, so you can move 6 spaces. And if you want to try and do like some run up the cave wall shit, you can with a good athletics check. But
Well, I'll try that, but at least do the check before I go and do it.
well, if you're gonna try to do it, you have to do the check. If you fail, that affects what you can do. So you can either do that or not.
No, I'll just like get down on the ground, basically like not quite a military crawl, but like a ready stance, like a sneak stance, get past the three of them to like right there.
Okay, and with
sneak attack.
your rogue, you can cunning action dash, so you can actually move up to 60 feet in a turn. So you can just fully get all the way over there.
So we'll do that and then but I can't do a sneak attack on that.
Yeah, you can. Sneak attack is not
Okay.
a bonus action. Sneak attack is just something that happens.
Okay, all right. So we'll just do the dash, and then I'll come up behind him and do a sneak attack with a knife.
Okay, you draw your sword, slither along the ground, getting down all fours in your like dragon form, dart through in and out of people, and go ahead and swing your attack at this guy.
24.
Yeah, you hit. So go ahead and roll your 2d6 for your crit damage, and then 2d6 for sneak attack.
12 total.
12 total minus 2. It still stands. You bury your sword in the back, but it's iffy. Demetrius, that's you.
Wow. Everybody's standing around. They do. Oh hell, why not? I'm gonna try casting magic missile.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack rolls.
Actually, apparently this just hits, because it doesn't say you create 3 glowing darts. I don't have to roll any kind of attack. It just says
You shouldn't roll an attack for each.
Magic missile is range attack.
One action.
says nothing about rolling an attack roll.
Let's look this up.
You create three glowing darts of magical force. Each dart hits a creature of your choice that you can see within range. A dart deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage to its target. Darts all strike simultaneously, and you can direct them to hit one creature or several.
Yeah, they hit. Let's go ahead and roll 3d4 plus 3.
Seven damage.
7. So you take a step back, blast these like little rockets out of your hand, these little darts, and the shadow like starts to dissipate, like it wants to get away, and the rockets just kind of bury through it, pinning it to the ground before it just dissolves. And once again, a silver little coin drops out of it, and you guys have killed these shadows who were really, really dangerous. If
They were supposed to kill at least one of us.
If they hit you, they were really dangerous. That's cool. That's fine. What do I need to roll above an 8 for, huh?
Nothing.
I rolled on one attack roll. I rolled a
Contact?
15, and that was it. That was all I rolled. So yeah, these shadows have all dissipated. You guys are in this clearing. Talia took a little strike across the chest and feels slightly weaker because of it, but the rest of you all seem like you're in great shape. These Talia, you can go ahead and make an insight or history check, whichever you'd prefer. And the rest of you, what are you guys doing around here?
I want to roll an investigation check on the silver coin that dropped out of these guys when they died.
That would be an Arcana check.
Arcana check.
So do the drag marks lead to the cave?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, 13 per Arcana.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I have Deft Explorer. It says double like I double my ability check for anything that's I'm proficient in. So so my insight check is starred, right? So that would mean that I would double it. But is it before I add the 5 or after I add the 5?
So you doubled your modifier to it.
Okay, so it's a +10 instead of a +5.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Great, that's awesome because now I got 13.
So Demetrius, you pick up this coin. You can tell that there's something innately magical about it, but you don't know off the top of your head what it is. Talia, you can tell that these floating shadowy creatures, the way they kind of moved, was eerily similar to what you saw head towards the village.
So you're telling me that there's more of these things? I mean, we were able to take those down, but what? Why? Why is this happening? I need to know why. I live here. How did I not see any of these? I mean, at least not recently. Is this the first time anybody's seen one of them?
If I fought in the war, do I know what these things are?
These are not something you've ever experienced.
Okay.
What you do know is that the people in the village said that whatever was doing this was the demon mage that lives out in the cave. These are not the demon mage that lives out in the cave, and more specifically, he just helped you fight them. So...
Can I make a religion check on the coin?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a religion check.
I'm gonna take the coin and just kind of like hold up my pendant and just kind of say a prayer to Ares. Religion. It's gonna be a 17.
17. You hear back this kind of like ghostly voice. You know this knowledge isn't my thing. But you do notice something as you're kind of like seeking, like holding up the coins, based off like what you're seeing. It is a normal coin, but it has a crescent moon, and the crescent moon is like wrapped in a rope. You know there's several gods and goddesses with ties to the moon. You know, like both Demeter and Persephone have something to do with it. Artemis has something to do with it. Hecate, who is the underworld goddess of like crossroads and shit, she has something to do with it. And a couple other gods and goddesses have loose ties to the moon. But as for what the specific use of these coins are, religion can't glean you that insight. But you do notice all three of them dropped one of these things. And Demetrius, you know that with a little more time and maybe studying your books back at your cave, you might be able to uncover what these things are.
So I'm gonna relay that information and let them know, you know, I might be able to find what these are in my books. So I'm going to take this coin that I picked up off the ground and see if I can figure out what it is, where it's from.
Well, I'm not leaving until I find what I came out here to find.
Okay, well, is there that I'm like looking around to see if there's any more. I mean, I know the drag marks stopped, but did they start again, or?
You can go ahead and make an investigation check around the area to see if they find that you see anything.
Oh, nat 20. Let's go for
I
investigation.
got an 8, so that's much better.
So Talia and Jax, you both go to look around at what else could have happened here. So it seems like the body was dragged to this clearing. And then Talia, all you can see is like animal footprints. You notice the creatures that you killed, the shadows, did not leave any sort of footprints. And while they like could briefly interact as basically as like wind would with leaves and stuff. They didn't really leave like an imprint on anything. Jax, as you go around, you find, leading a little away from this, you find that some footsteps, like normal human-looking footsteps, came from the other direction, deeper in the forest, before stopping in the clearing. And you did not see them going any closer to the village in the direction you guys are, or leaving the area. So it's almost as if somebody else walked up to this clearing and disappeared or stopped interacting with the ground in some way, just like the body seemed to.
The fuck?
Huh?
I relayed all that. And then Jess kind of turns to everyone and goes like, I'm looking for 2 people. A kid and a woman. Whatever that shadowy figure you saw earlier was most likely responsible for taking these 2.
Okay. Well, I feel partially responsible for that, I guess. Because I didn't follow it. So I heard the explosion and it ended up just being spells. Oh, God. All right. Well, I would like to help you. It's the right thing to do, I suppose. Since it did happen in the woods, I can help you. I mean, I'm pretty good at navigating this type of area.
Go ahead, play.
I will lend a hand too, so I can learn why all these soldiers and others have been snooping around my home.
I know the answer to that one. People think you're a devil. Demon.
Oh, that's
Demon. Not devil,
very,
but demon.
very far from what I am.
You live in a cave and you're a dragonborn. Not far-fetched.
You're trying to say we're bad people. You.
Alright, no, okay, that came off wrong, and I'm sorry. I just meant, like, you're a dragonborn living out in a cave. And, like...
Are you thinking we're all the same?
Bitch, you helped us in the war! I don't think all of you are bad.
Good. Not all of us are.
Just saying. This dragonborn lives in a cave. People aren't too fond of you. I couldn't care less. You helped us in the war. I like you guys. But again, you live in a cave. And you're a dragonborn. People don't like that.
I live in a cave because I'm not allowed to live anywhere else.
What he said is correct.
You guys are all welcome in the fucking town. I guarantee you. You might get dirty looks, but like no one's gonna fuck with you.
You guys don't even need to roll a check for anything. You both know, Demetrius and Jade, you both know that that is far from the truth. The only reason that some of the creatures, or some of the non-humans, have gained any sort of allowance to be in town is because they helped in the war, and somebody who did not help in the war would still not be allowed to do anything. So, Jax is being very privileged right now.
If I were allowed in the town, I wouldn't have to disguise myself every time I went near it.
I was in the war. I don't need to disguise myself.
Okay. Well, either way, if you want to visit the town more, whatever your name is, you can. And if anyone fucks with you, let me know. I'll gladly beat some sense into him.
I will have to hold you to that someday. And my name is Demetrius Longwing.
Well, Nice to meet you, Demetrius. As for you, what is your name? Weird woman.
Oh, me? Oh well, I'm Talia. I am not really from here specifically, but I live on my own, wherever I want. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, I'm Jax.
I'm Jade.
Anyway, back to what we were trying to do. I don't know what the fuck to do. And I am not leaving until I find these two.
And sorry. Then Demetrius just runs into his cave and starts looking through his books.
Yeah, so your cave is a little further back from here, but Demetrius just kind of says, hey, I can find answers at my home, and runs back to it to look into these coins that dropped. The rest of you could follow him or investigate something else.
Well, I kind of follow because I don't. Jax has nothing else over here to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going for the same reason.
So Demetrius, you look through your all of your books. What does your like home look like? You kind of have this like study space inside of a cave. What do you think your home looks like?
Well, it's kind of like a hobbit hole from The Lord of the Rings. You just threw a door on a cave, found some rocks and grassy stuff to lay around and make it comfortable into a home. Has a little fire lit in the corner. Obviously airflow into it so that the smoke goes out of the roof instead of out the door most of the time. But it's a homey little place.
Yeah, so
Not much room for a lot of people, but it's his home.
you guys follow Demetrius into this cave, and what's inside is, actually rather pleasant and cozy. It's not, built for the same, like, standard comforts that, like, a normal village house would be, but, like, Jax and Jade, you guys have been in the war for a long time, so you're used to sleeping in tents. And Talia, you just camp out in the wilderness most nights, so this is actually, like, a very cozy and nice home. Demetrius, you kind of grab a whole bunch of books off of a bookcase, and pull some of them aside. Various texts of like druidic circles, like I said, clergies, temples, things that you've nabbed and picked up along the way. And you find something from a temple that you know to be about a day deeper into the woods, day's walk into the woods, which is this book from this like mysterious group that used to live at this temple before the Athenian military came in and like cleared it out. But you find that symbol of the crescent moon kind of wrapped in a rope. And as you study it, you know that it is a symbol of, it's a crest of binding. So basically somebody bound these shadows to their will using these charms. So this is like a necromantic book. Somebody summoned these undead ghost creatures and then bound them to their will.
Okay, and I relay that information to the group,
What is...
and it's necromancy, apparently.
Oh,
Why do you have a necromancy book?
So I can learn necromancy?
Maybe the guards weren't wrong after all.
To fight, you must know your enemy inside and out.
It's true. You have to study. I mean, you guys don't know this? You're soldiers. You should know how to fight like that. You have to be sneaky sometimes.
One does not just carry around necromancy books like that sometimes.
Well,
Carry it around with me. I leave it at my home.
one does not exactly plan on dealing with necromancy, but at the same time, I agree. You should know a little bit about, at least, I mean, a book. That's not that bad. You know, we had to look it up. It's not like he knew off the top of his head.
But still, that's a little weird.
It doesn't hurt to know anything about necromancy.
I mean, Jax, you can make an insight check on this guy if you want.
11 plus 13.
I mean, he seems to be being honest. He has a lot of books. Doesn't really appear to be hiding anything. Seems like this guy kind of just studies. And you can also know
Sorry.
that if he knew what the creatures were, he probably would have been a lot better at killing them.
That's fair. Jax is just being an asshole. Being wary.
I think you're being cautious of the wrong person. We need to... Was there anything left? It's like when those creatures when we defeated them, what happened to the cloaks?
They all disappeared. The only
Everything
thing that
disappeared.
the only thing that stayed was the little coins.
The coins, okay. So, I mean, now that we know where they came from, who would have the ability to... I mean, what kind of wizards use necromancy? How does...
A necromancer.
Okay, so it's just... I mean, does something like that require sacrifices?
I mean, these bodies. I mean, I'm assuming I'm not much of
But what about
knowledge of the Arcana. I mostly just kind of
But what of the...
power from the gods. So,
Well, we know about these. I'm talking about the ones we're trying to find, the ones who were taken.
I mean, I gotta assume they could be used for sacrifices, but
Possibility.
Yeah, I mean, Demetrius, you would know that a lot of necromancy and necromantic rituals involve human sacrifices. Jax, you know that several like families and soldiers families have been victims of attacks similar to this, and there's been more than one kidnapping. And Demetrius, I mean, you also know that there was a temple about a day past, or a day from where you guys are now, in the direction that the footsteps that Jax found that stopped and disappeared. I mean, it's from that direction.
whatever answer, we can just go to this temple.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Let's try go to the temple and see if we can figure out what's going on there.
Well, hopefully it will lead us to our the people who were kidnapped, and maybe we could find out a little more about who is the one doing the necromancing.
Okay, it's like night right now. Do you guys want to rest in the cave, or do you want to try and get as far as you can tonight?
I say we get as far as we can tonight.
Yeah. We should. We really should. We should just move now and keep going till we can't anymore, and then we'll make a camp.
Okay. You're gonna say something?
No, I was just agreeing with what Daisy said.
Okay. So you guys, I mean, the sun is just set. You have like torches and general survival stuff. Talia, your kind of presence is like, you're just like in tune with nature. You're like kind of warding off a lot of other creatures nearby. Excuse me. But you're walking through a dark forest in a direction that you guys kind of know. Go ahead and as a group make a survival check.
18.
24.
20.
Oh no, I'm sorry, 28.
14.
Okay, so I mean, you guys, Demetrius, you got a pretty good memory. You studied and learned. And Talia, you think you kind of remember where this temple was. You think you passed by it on your way into the village. And Jax, you've heard of this. So you guys all have a very good sense of direction of where to go. You head back to the clearing where you fought the shadows. And Jax, you begin to follow the footprints you saw that disappeared at the clearing, and you just kind of trace them backwards. You guys make it about 5 or 6 hours before it's very tired. Like it's almost 1 in the
Can't go
morning.
anymore.
And you guys have all been up since actual morning. You weren't planning on doing this. So you guys come to a point where it's like, hey, I need to set up. Progressing any further will give you exhaustion, basically.
Okay.
Someone make a campfire.
Yes, I can do that.
Yeah, Talia just makes one. One of the dragons kind of.
Forest of fire.
Yeah, Talia is very handy. So you guys have a little campfire, little food set up. You guys kind of pass it around. Who is anybody going to take watch or anything?
I'll take first watch.
Okay.
And I kind of sit there, pendant in hand, just saying prayers to Ares, just in case anything does come out.
Okay. Is anybody doing any like pre-night prepping for the campsite or anything?
I'm trying to look and see what I got going on here.
Jax, do you think I should set some traps just in case?
I mean, sure. I mean, we know what it was like on the front lines, guerrilla warfare and shit. It's better safe to be than sorry.
So I walk around setting like little booby traps around the perimeter.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be. I'm just gonna kind of keep an eye out in all the directions while I'm trying to decide if I want to go to bed.
Well, I'm taking first watch, so.
All right. Well, I also, no offense to you guys, it's just kind of been me for a while, and I just met you all, so, I'm just gonna, like, put myself over here, and, in case anybody's wondering, pointy thing next to me, scimitar, and I do hold it while I'm sleeping. I will stab you if you get a little too close, so everybody knows. Okay. And I just kind of, like, walk away.
Yeah, I mean, Talia is
Super
kind
weird,
of used to like camping alone at night. So she probably does a lot of things like she like probably sets her own little druidic and survivalist stuff, and then probably like climbs up into a tree, hangs up a little bed between some branches, and like sleeps up there, so she can keep a lookout and also be elevated from ground creatures. Because she's the best at surviving. Jade and Demetrius kind of do their own little prep to set up and Jax, and they both go to sleep. And Jax, what are you doing as you're saying your prayers and just inspecting?
Expecting, kind of talking to Ares if he ever responds.
He doesn't seem to be responding now. But Talia, are you going to sleep, or are you keeping watch at first?
I'm just kind of keeping an eye out and watching how they're moving about and doing things.
Okay.
I'm comfortable, and I'm kind of just like to them it looks like I'm just like relaxing or getting ready for bed, but to me I'm like aware and alert.
Okay. So you're not fully sleeping. That's okay. Jax, go ahead and make a perception check.
13.
For the first couple hours, nothing seems to happen. Roughly 4 hours go by, and does someone want to switch in for watch?
I'll take.
Okay. Jax, you go to sleep. Jade, you wake up for second watch. Go ahead and nothing happens that time. So Demetrius, you full slept. Talia, did you go to sleep after the first 4 hours?
Yes.
Okay, so Talia has half slept. Jax has half slept. Jade's half slept. Demetrius is full slept. So Demetrius can take third watch. And nothing happens again. So you guys all wake up long rested.
Cool.
As surprisingly, nothing really came away from this temple. It's because you guys went to bed so late. It's roughly noon now by the time you guys get together. But you can make it to this temple by nightfall.
We just start tracking.
Go ahead and
At least
make
Jax does.
group survival check again. So everybody make a survival check.
14. Sorry, that's
22.
not a 9. That's a 4.
22.
14. Hooray.
14, 22, 22, 14, and 4. As you guys get closer, you notice that area, as you guys get within a couple hours of this temple, you notice that the area around it, the plants are growing increasingly not sparse, but they're growing dead, essentially. It looks like whatever's getting close to you, or as you're getting closer, it's getting some sort of evil. And as a result of that, because this used to be like a place filled with kind of life and stuff, you kind of lose your way, but eventually re-find yourself as you can see the outline of this temple as the sun is starting to set behind you guys again. It's taken you a little longer to get here than you would have liked because you lost your way a little bit, but you have reset on your path. Go ahead and make perception or investigation checks as you guys kind of get closer to this temple.
17.
13.
11.
11.
11. So it looks like, Jax, you would know this, that and Demetrius, actually, you both know this, that the Athenian military at one point came out and cleared this place out of like its kind of evil cultists or whatever that were living here. That's how, Demetrius, you were able to sneak in and get the books that you found in there. And Jax, you just kept in touch on all like military stuff. Talia, you're noticing from the plant life that's around, there's definitely like something magical bad that's happening here and negatively affecting the nature. Like there's not a lot of animals around. Like I said, the plants are pretty fucked. It's just, there's a
Toxic.
toxic aura around this place. Jade, you kind of scout ahead. That's kind of what you do. You get closer and closer to this temple. You see that it actually looks like it's been somewhat repaired. A lot of the brickwork has been like refinished and touched up. You can see patches of places that were like old brick that's been more worn, and then there's new brick that is also like fresher, cleaner, been replaced a little bit. You see that around this little fortress temple thing, there are several humanoid-looking guards, and hanging above the gate entrance is a flag with a symbol on it. It is a symbol of a sun with a small crescent moon around it, which you know to be the flag of the eclipse.
Jax gets really mad.
What's on over there, little guy?
Do you see that flag?
Yes, I see the flag.
You know what that means.
I do.
The whole point of us coming home was the war was over.
Apparently it's not to them.
And that's where we'll end our session. Alright, that was the first episode of our campaign, The Epic. Will our heroes discover some incredible plot to bring back the end of the world, which they thought they already stopped? Or will this all just be a misdirect? Who knows? Not me. I'm kidding. I know. So yeah, sorry. Like I said at the start of the stream, I had my wisdom teeth out on Tuesday, so I couldn't go as hard as I would have liked. But I'm excited for the second episode of the campaign. I'm excited for this new campaign. I'm Mimic the Idiot. I'm your Dungeon Master. I'm joined by Daisy Cakes, who plays Talia, Jimmy, who plays Jade Dragonborn, Dragonborn Rogue, Play the Fool, who plays Demetrius Longwing, Dragonborn Wizard, and Vex, who plays Jax Karn, the Domain of War Cleric. You can follow us on Twitter at Idiots Rolling Dice, or at ErdPod, IRDPOD. Follow us on Instagram at Idiots Rolling Dice. Tweet about the show using hashtag ErdPod. You can also follow our individual Twitch channels and social medias, which are linked down in the description below. Should be fun, chillin', woo. We love it. Welcome to the new campaign. I'm gonna go take some drugs.